How's it going, everyone? My name's Faza, and today I've got another video for you on Forza Horizon 4. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how I make a ridiculous amount of money in Forza. I've made about 200 million credits in the last week or so. It's crazy the amount of money you can make if you follow the method that I'm about to show you now. Hopefully you guys enjoy it and are able to learn something and make some money for yourselves. If you do, leave a like and subscribe. I'll be posting more content like this as and when I find it. Thanks very much. Let's get into the video. Now, the first thing I should say is this video is going to be based around auction house sniping, but even if you know how to auction house snipe and what it is, don't click off the video just yet, because I'm going to be going into specifically which cars you should be sniping right now in Forza to make good money, make easy money, and obviously you should be able to do it quite easily. Now, there are quite a lot of rare cars in Forza, but there are some that are rarer than others. Now, the prices are always changing in the marketplace depending on how rare a car is, depends on how much you can sell it for, what the maximum price will be that you're allowed to list it for. Now, depending on how rare that car is, it can be up to 20 million. For example, cars like the Apollo I think sell for 16 million, but there's rarely any on the marketplace. Cars like the Rimac usually sell for 20 million, but there's usually not many of them on the marketplace. There's two actually at the moment, which I'm surprised those two are there, to be honest. There's usually none. What's another one? Like the 25 Mustang. That one is usually nothing. Oh, 16 million. That one's been there 3 minutes. That'll probably be sniped very soon. But you can pick these cars up. These are rare cars, but they're listed usually at their maximum buyout price. Now, the cars that you want to look for are cars that are able to be sold for up to 20 million or 16 million or something obviously really high, but there's quite a lot of them listed on the marketplace. Now, at the moment, the cars that I've been using are the Hot Wheels cars. Now, the minimum price that you can sell a Hot Wheels car for is the Rip Rod, which sells for like 8 million. I mean, you can list it for like 7 or 6 if you want to sell it slightly quicker, if there's a lot listed at the time. But other than that, you've got the Mustang, which sells for 20, the Twin Mill, which sells for 16, and then also the Bone Shaker. I don't know if there is any listed right now. Let's have a quick look. No, no Bone Shakers, but the Bone Shaker sells for 16 as well, and obviously there's all these Mustangs that sell for 20. Now, what you can do is, because although these cars sell for really high prices at their max bid, their minimum buyout price is actually really, really low. So what you can do is, if you search for the car and search just above the minimum buyout price as the max buyout, you can actually get these cars very, very cheap. As you'll see here, I've got 10 cars here, I think, which I picked up for pretty much minimum price. One or two was slightly above. I also got this Mustang here for 275, which sells for 16 million. But this sells for 16 million. These sell for around 20 million. These sell for 8 million. This sells for 16 million. So all of these cars that I've got really, really cheap are obviously going to make me a ridiculous amount of money. That's how I got the 115 million that I've got at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll give you guys a bit more of an in-depth idea of how to actually search for these cars and the way that you should be able to snipe them, and hopefully you guys will be able to make a lot of money from that. So once you've found the car that you want to use, which like I said is something that sells for a lot in the auction house, but is also quite regularly listed, there's really going to be two ways that you can snipe those cars. Now the first way is going to be buying the car at its minimum price. Now the reason this is good is because it doesn't involve you starting with much money, and obviously when you sell the car, if you buy it at its minimum price, which is like 150k, you can sell the car for say 16 million on the Hot Wheels cars. So straight away you can get 16 million off one car, and then from there obviously it just opens up your avenues to be able to spend a little bit more money to be able to make money. So when it comes to buying cars at their minimum price, it can be very slow and very tedious, because it's not that often, to an extent, that people will list the car as minimum price. So what you would need to do is go to Hot Wheels and put the max buyout at 200k. Now when you search, if there's nothing available, you need to back out and do the same thing again straight away, and over and over. And it sounds very boring, but all of these Hot Wheels cars that I got here, that I showed you in this list earlier, if I go across to the auction alerts, you'll see that I actually got them all in one night. They're all here from the same night. I got them one after the other, after the other, after the other, all in this list. I think there's only one in the auction that's not actually in this list, which I got from another time, but they're pretty much all of them I got in this list. And you can see they're all in one night. And I wasn't just sat there for the whole like 4 or 5 hours that's there just doing that. I was going off and doing the Forza Fun Live in between and things like that, but I was still able to get 9 cars within the space of a few hours of just playing the game in between sniping cars. So the first method, like I said, it is long, it is tedious, but if you keep at it, you'll definitely find cars. Now, the best way to get this done is just you need to be quick. You need to do as many searches as quick as possible, and then when that car comes up, you need to bid it straight away. Now, a big mistake that a lot of people make is when you're buying a car. I'll just show you any car, for example. If you were to search for a Hot Wheels car and say you put the maximum buyout as 200k, when you search, if you see a car that's there, you want to buy out straight away. Now, you want to click Y. A lot of people make the mistake of clicking A and you load into this screen and it takes a minute, and by this time somebody's already bought the car. You tried to buy the car, it's already gone. So what you need to do is, if you're searching for the minimum buyout of over 200k, as soon as you see a car pop up, you need to press Y, press down and spam the A button and buy that car out as soon as possible. That is the fastest way to buy the cars. You need to just Y down, A, and just spam the button, and you still might get beat to it because other people are also going to be sniping. You need to understand you're not the only person doing it, so you're not going to win the car every time, but the quicker you are and the more searches you can put in, the more likely you are to find the car. Now, because there are so many Hot Wheels cars listed, and especially because the Mustang is at 20 million, there is, if you've already got some money in the bank, say for example 15, 20 million in the bank, there is other ways you can make money on these cars. Now, what you can do is, if you search just Hot Wheels, obviously you'll find quite a lot of cars listed for 20 million, specifically the Mustang. If we search just the Mustang and have a look, you'll find a lot of these cars 20 million, 20 million, 20 million. No one's really listing it less. But occasionally you'll find somebody who wants to sell their Mustang, but they want the money quickly. Now the thing is, when a car is available for 20 million, you can either list the buyout for 11 million or 20 million. There's nothing in between. You can't put any price in between that. So if somebody wants to get a quick sale on their Mustang, the most they're going to be able to list it for is 11 million, because otherwise it's not going to sell quickly. They will have to wait at least an hour. So if you were to search just Hot Wheels, I mean, you could do this with other cars as well. It's not necessarily just the Mustang that this works with. For example, obviously the twin mill is 16 million to buy out, so some people will list that for 11 million. So if you search just Hot Wheels and you scroll down and look around the 1 hour mark, the 3 hour mark, and then quite often the 24-hour mark, somebody will list a car for cheap for 24 hours because then they know it will definitely sell. So if you've already got some money in the bank and you can drop on here and see maybe a Mustang for 11 million, you can buy that and then resell it and get your 9 million profit, and you're probably more likely to find a car that someone's listed for 11 than a car that someone's listed for 160k. It depends really on when you're playing the game, how busy the actual game is itself, how many people are online will obviously depend on how many people are listing the cars, how many other people are trying to snipe the cars. So if you're playing at a busy time, you're obviously probably more likely to find the cars, but then there is going to be more competition for other people trying to snipe the cars from you as well. Now what I'm going to do is go into my cars that I bought here. I spent probably, I think, about 3 million roughly, if I was to guess. I don't really know exactly how much I spent. I will add it all up before I sell these. But I'm going to sell these and work out, with the 4 hours it took me to buy them, minus these two. These are the two that I didn't get in the 4 hours. So with the 4 hours that it took me to buy these 9 cars, I'm going to see exactly how much money I can make from that 4 hours work, and then I'll be back to show you guys how much profit I made. Right, so what I did is went away and listed all of those cars for their maximum buy now. As you can see, I've still got 2 cars that I said I wasn't going to list because I didn't get them in the same time. So I'm just only listing the cars that I got in that one evening. So when I listed them, 6 of them sold within the first hour, which you'll see down here, and I didn't expect all of the Mustangs to sell straight away, with them being 20 million and me having 5 of them all up for sale at once. I didn't expect them to go straight away. So 2 of them sold, and then what I did with the other 3 is I relisted 2 for 3 hours, and then I relisted another one for 1 hour, and all of those ended up selling within that 3 hour time period. So it took total 4 hours, I would say, but that's, like I said, only because I had so many and I listed them all at once. But obviously if you bear in mind that I got all of these cars in one night and then sold them all within a few hours, the profit that I make from this arguably could be made every single day on this game. You know, I said I've made this money in roughly about a week or so, but that's because I bought the cars and then I've been holding on to the cars in order to be able to make the video, because I couldn't record the day that I got them. I didn't have my recording stuff with me at that point. So obviously I've got all these cars now. All of them have sold for their maximum price. So if we go and take a look over here, you can see I've got all of the cars all sold 16 million, 20 million, 20 million. So I've definitely got a good amount of money here. I've got 115 million at the moment, so I'm just going to go ahead and claim all of these and then see exactly how much money I end up with afterwards. Right, so obviously we had 115 million. Now that I've claimed all the credits for all of these cars, I have a 241 million. Pretty much 242 million, but that's an increase of 126 million roughly in in what could basically be one night's work. If I bought all these cars and listed them all up as I was actually winning them, and you know, straight away I could have got all of this within a few hours. I could have got literally 126 million credits. So at the moment, I think the Bone Shaker actually in the time that I'm been making this video has increased to 20 million as well. So the Bone Shaker can now actually be sold for 20 million as well as the Mustang. But this is definitely the best way to make money at the moment on these cars, because the thing is when you search Hot Wheels, you've got 4 cars that are available to come up. Most things that you would snipe, like for example the Apollo or a particular Mustang, you're only going to be able to search for 1 car at a time. Whereas when you're searching Hot Wheels, there's 4 different cars that could potentially be listed. They all sell for a reasonable amount of money. I mean, even the Rip Rod for 8 million, if you can pick up for 150k, you know, you're pretty much 8 million profit. You know, all of these cars, if you pick them up for minimum bid, which is like 100 and something k, all of the money is practically profit. You know, 20 million, if I paid 165k, all that money's profit. So these are definitely the best cars to snipe at the moment. It's definitely the best way to make money. You have to be quick at the sniping. If you want me to make a more in-depth video on exactly how I snipe and some of the better methods for specifically for sniping, if you go a little bit more in depth with the actual sniping itself, I can do that. Just leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you want me to do. But definitely, if you guys are looking to make some quick, easy money and you want to make serious money, I would seriously recommend sniping some of these cars and listing them up, because as you can see here, the money I've got now, like I don't really need to make any more money for a while. You know, there's a couple of cars I need to buy for 20 million, which may be the Rimac and stuff, which I sold in the past, but I don't think I'm going to spend 241 million credits anytime soon, so I don't really need to snipe any more cars. But I hope you guys have found this helpful. I hope you guys managed to make some money from it. I hope you guys have obviously learned something from this video. If you have, please leave a like, leave a sub. Obviously there's more videos coming over things like this if the cars change, because obviously the market's always changing. If there's different cars that change in the prices, I'll obviously remake a new video to show you guys which are the newer cars to snipe. Probably won't be as long as this one, because hopefully people will see this one and then it will just be like an update. But yeah, like I said, subscribe and stay tuned. Hopefully if you guys want to see some more content, I'll be making it soon. And peace. Take it easy.